Today, a Cajun homecoming crowd of over 70,000 gathers at Tiger Stadium as the Fighting Tigers of LSU take on Johnny Majors' 11th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers. Hello, everybody. Along with Tim Foley, this is Bob Neal. And this is a hard one to figure. Before this season began, most people figured LSU would finish the season ahead of Tennessee. It's been just the reverse. It is a tough game to figure. The University of Tennessee, 5-1. LSU, 1-5. Statistically, very similar in terms of points allowed, but the record 5-1 and 1-5. And Tim Foley, coming into this game, odds makers have made LSU with their 1-5 record a slight favorite. It's tough to figure.
It really is. I think that the odds makers probably assigned some mystical value to playing here in the Tiger Den, and for a good purpose. And the other thing I think people are still a little bit uncertain about Tennessee with Reggie Cobb. The other thing they're figuring on is LSU's offense. In Tommy Hodson, they have the most prolific in SEC history. But the real question mark here is whether LSU can develop a running game against Tennessee. If they can develop a running attack, then they're going to be able to keep that defense off balance as Alabama did last year. They'll be able to throw the ball. If they can't run the football, Tennessee's going to lay its ears back and come get them, and they're going to have a hard time protecting Hodson.
Now, speaking of running game, you mentioned that Reggie Cobb is gone from Tennessee. Chuck Webb is there. He's a good runner, and that's the strength of Tennessee and a vulnerability area for LSU.
Well, you know, Tennessee has a new offensive coordinator, Phil Fulmer, and he was a lineman, and he likes to run the ball, establish a force of football. And LSU has been banged up inside. They graduated Darrell Phillips, and they've got a lot of injuries in their interior line. So it's a question mark as to whether they can stop Tennessee's run.
And another change for Tennessee, starting at quarterback, will be Andy Kelly instead of Sterling Hinton. Another big factor in today's game could be special teams, and we'll keep a close eye on that, of course. We'll be back here to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for the kickoff in just a moment. But now, back to our studios in Atlanta, Greg Sager and the Insider Report.
Thanks, Bob. The Inside
This preseason magazine ranked Tiger Stadium #1 on a list of the 10 best places to attend a college football game. Well, the Volunteers are attending a game here today. They are 5-1 overall and lead in this series 15-3-3. Johnny Majors, his 13th season at UT, 22nd season as a college football head coach. Mike Archer, a young man, 36 years old, leads the LSU Tigers on the field. They are having a nightmare of a season, 1-5. Archer in his 3rd year as head coach of the LSU Tigers. So it'll be the University of Tennessee and LSU at Tiger Stadium today. We'll be back here in just a moment for the kickoff at Death Valley. Stay with us. Today, Louisiana, beautiful day for football, 72 degrees. LSU won the toss. They will receive. Back deep for the Bengal Tigers are Wayne Williams on the right of your screen, number 23, and on the left, Todd Kenshin, number 49. Williams averages 26.5 yards per kick return. Here is Greg Burke, junior from Key Biscayne, Florida. He is the kickoff man for Tennessee. Homecoming at Tiger Stadium, 1989. Drive picked up by Kenshin. At the 20, he's got a lane, but it closed quickly, and down he goes at the 28-yard line. The man putting on the hit, number 17, Lee Wood. 22-yard return, and here is the all-time leading passer in the history of the SEC, Tommy Hodson, leading this today against the Tennessee defensive rush. Tennessee's 2 ends, Hayworth and Hobby, can be very tough and come on very strong in pass rush situations. You see there a little discussion between Mike Archer and today's referee. The man in the white hat is Al Ford. Mike Archer, 36-year-old, 3rd year head coach at LSU, 19-10-1. Remember, of that 19-10 record, 5 of those losses have come this year. First down for LSU from the 27-yard line. They're going to open up in the air. Over the middle, it is complete to the 44-yard line to Alvin Lee, who had 10 catches and 2 touchdown receptions last year against Tennessee. The Tennessee defensive alignment, Marion Hobby, number 90, is the key man there. Tracy Hayworth also good on the outside. Darryl Hardy, the leading tackler for Tennessee. Shazon Bradley also good in the middle. And a secondary that'll be tested today. Preston Warren is a fine player on the outside. The air again. Plenty of time to the 47-yard line near a first down. Alvin Lee with 2 catches.
The opening play of the game, LSU going with a play pass, Bob, and Tommy Hodson has just looked very, very poised this year. He's taken a beating. He was hit 18 times against Texas A&M. He's been hit as he releases the football. He's gotten rid of the ball, hasn't gotten a lot of sacks, but has looked very good getting to a second receiver as he did on the first play.
This will be second down. Short yardage. Here's a reverse. Tennessee has penetrated, but Tony Moss turns the corner. The first down. And a little more. Moss steps out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Darryl Hardy made the stop. A gain of 10 yards. Alvin Lee got it, then gave it to Moss.
Ed Zombrecker, offensive coordinator here at LSU, said they wanted to get the ball in the hands of this man, Tony Moss. And here's one of the ways they choose to do it. The double reverse. Tony Moss taking it upfield. He is probably the only player on the LSU offense that can score from any place on the field. Has the quickness and the mobility. Eddie Fuller, a fine tailback. Doesn't really have the explosiveness to break a big one.
Penalty marker was on that play. It's going to come back. Here is Al Ford.
We had an inadvertent whistle on the play. Since the ball was behind the line of scrimmage, we're going to replay the second down.
Well, that just thrilled LSU. They had 3 plays, gains of 17, 9, and then 10 yards. Since they had an inadvertent whistle, it'll be second down, 1 yard, and Mike Archer is beside himself. Understandably so. You pull a trick play out like that and then get it thrown right back in.
In a year when you're 1-5 and just looking for a break, fighting hard against Auburn and Florida, Kentucky, that's a tough way to start.
Eddie Fuller cuts it inside. He gets the first down to the 43-yard line. So LSU does come back and pick up the first down on second down 1. Opening moments of the first quarter from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Bob Neal and Tim Foley with you.
Johnny Majors has brought his team back last year off to an 0-6 start. Looked like he was the chute was greased, and they grabbed a hold, and Johnny Majors brought them back together, and they've really turned into a fighting machine now.
First down 10 at the 43-yard line. Hodson happy to stay in the air. It is complete again at the 35-yard line. Tony Moss with the reception this time. And Hodson opens up this game 3 out of 3 for 32 yards. He's on fire.
And once again, Hodson goes to a secondary receiver. They bring Eddie Fuller in motion out of the backfield, trying to get the defense to declare. Is it zone? Is it man-to-man? Hodson nails Wesley Jacobs, a true freshman, with the ball and looking sharp.
Second down and 2 from the 35-yard line. Running out the right side. Fuller breaking some tackles. He gets the first down to the 30-yard line. Eddie Fuller, the senior from Leesville, Louisiana. He scored a couple of touchdowns this year. He's rushed for 356 yards coming into this ballgame.
Mike Archer said Eddie Fuller, had the most complete game he'd ever seen from a tailback in terms of catching the ball. Had 6 catches last week and also 18 carries for 81 yards. Just a hard-nosed young man that's playing, as you mentioned, for the injured Harvey Williams.
First down 10 from the 30. Tommy Hodson was just leveled. He tried to get rid of it to Victor Jones. He really just threw that one away to avoid the sack. Shazon Bradley, number 40, was back there in his face.
LSU most concerned about the blitz from the outside from Hardy. When you're in a play pass mode, of course, it affects your vision. You can't see that coming, but Hodson always knows where he is on the football field and wisely got rid of the ball, unloaded the ball. Second and 10.
From the 30-yard line, 7th play of this drive. Opening drive of the ball game. LSU won the toss, received the kickoff, and they've been moving it through the air. Moss has another man open. Kinchin can't hold on. That had touchdown all over it, and Todd Kinchin, the sophomore, dropped the ball.
Well, that'll go as an incompletion for Tommy Hodson in the The natives are a little restless here in Louisiana about the play of this young man, but on film, he is making the right decisions. When he's got time, he's putting the ball on the money. Look at that. Looks off the free safety and puts it right in there, right in the seam, in that small little area. He rifled it in there, and Pynchon couldn't hang on.
Third down 10, 3 wideouts in the game out of the shotgun, Tommy Hodson. Moss in motion out of the backfield. Comes Tennessee with a blitz. Hodson gets rid of it over the middle. There's Moss. Got to beat one man. Touchdown, LSU. Touchdown pass, Hodson, the SEC's all-time leader in touchdown passes, 58 career touchdown passes. The point after is good. LSU leads 7-0.
Now we're talking about whether Tommy Hodson can be an NFL quarterback. Look at this poise. Watch this. He gets motion from Moss. They want to get Moss moving. Slight roll out of the pocket, but if he didn't have that on, he had to roll anyway, and then unloads it all the way across the field, right on the money. Jason Julian chasing. Moss takes it into the end zone. That's poise. That's Tommy Hodson, the most prolific passer in SEC history. Motion coming back across the field. Kelly Days, man-to-man. Jason Julian, free safety. He's supposed to pick up anything inside here that Moss runs. Moss flattens the angle of his route, beats Julian underneath. Kelly Days expecting help inside, doesn't get it. Moss makes the catch after a fantastic throw by Hodson. Touchdown.
Moss with 6 touchdown catches on the year now. There are the deep backs for the University of Tennessee, 15 Pickens and 80 Anthony Morgan. And yes, they are Tennessee receivers, and yes, speed to burn. Pedro Suarez from South Florida kicking off for LSU. The short hop to Carl Pickens, number 15. Drilled out of bounds at the 26-yard line by number 28, Robbie Green. An 18-yard return for Pickens. And let's look at the University of Tennessee offensive football team after the scoring drive. 8 plays, 73 yards, 2 minutes, 40 seconds. And it was capped by a 30-yard TD reception. And Hodson was 4 out of 6 for 64 yards. It'll be Andy Kelly starting at quarterback in place of Sterling Hinton. Kelly's a sophomore, Hinton's a junior. Hinton more the runner, Kelly more the passer. Here comes that Tennessee running game. Chuck Webb, the redshirt freshman, out to about the 30-yard line. So it's Andy Kelly, the sophomore from Dayton, Tennessee, who came in to replace Sterling Hinton in the loss last week to Alabama. Chuck Webb, the running back, who has to carry the load alone since Reggie Cobb left, and Eric Still, the leader up there on the offensive line for the University of Tennessee. Second down 6 from the 30-yard line. Volunteers 5-1, losing 47-30 to Alabama in Birmingham last week. Kelly on the run. It is complete to the fullback, Roland Poles, out here to the 40-yard line. A gain of 10 and a first down. Now the LSU defensive lineup, they are banged up front, as Tim Foley told you. That is only 5'7", and he's a walk-on, to give you the idea of the strength of LSU's defense. The Tennessee running game out to the 46 goes Chuck Webb. Gain of about 5 or 6 yards off the left side.
We're going to show you where this game is going to be fought this afternoon from the Tennessee standpoint. Offensive line, Phil Fulmer's offensive line. That's Surge off the ball. You see number 50. Myslinski pulling out, making a trap. Poles coming up in the hard, consistent running of Chuck Webb. Great leg drive, fine back. And they're working on a vulnerable area right now for LSU. The interior part of that offensive line is banged up.
This will be second down 4 from the 46. They'll give it to Webb again. Tries to cut it outside, not much there. Dives for the first down inside LSU territory. Freshman David Walkup makes the stop. David is from Woodlands, Texas, a redshirt freshman.
Johnny Majors last year, after that infamous start, reorganized and simplified. He decided that we don't need to try to out-coach people and outsmart people. Let's just outplay people. Let's out-basics people. Let's out-hit them.
1st and 10, just inside LSU territory. Chuck Webb coming again. Webb ridden out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a little bit of territory there. Corey Raymond with a stop, and let's go to Craig Sager at our Atlanta studios.
Well, thanks, Bob.
Game and looking like Michigan with the 14-3 lead. Andy Kelly hit as he throws. It'll go incomplete. The pocket caved in. Oliver Lawrence, who had been shaken up and brought off the field, number 99, went back out there. He is obviously okay, the senior from Monroe, Louisiana.
Mark Boutte also back in the game, Bob, and he'd been playing nose man for Darrell Phillips, and they missed Darrell Phillips. Anybody would. That guy covered 5 holes in the middle of the line and made it a lot easier for Verge Osbury to play middle linebacker. But Boutte is the best guy they've got, and he's been injured. He's got a groin injury, but he's in there fighting it.
3 wideouts in for Tennessee on 3rd down 9. Kelly, more of the pure pocket passer. Doesn't have the good feet of Sterling Hinton. He's having to run here, though, but primarily just running to get out of trouble. Throws it incomplete as he's chased out of bounds on the sideline. Now, Sterling Hinton on that kind of play can turn it into a damaging offensive play, but Kelly not the mobile quarterback. A cheer for the LSU defense as they hold Tennessee.
Well, Pete Jenkins, the defensive coordinator here at LSU, I think he'd like the outlaw graduation. He lost Sancho last year, Eric Hill. He lost Rudy Harmon. Lost Mike Mays to graduation. Just a bevy of great players are no longer on this LSU defense. Jamie Bryce, Greg Jackson, the All-American free safety. So they're rebuilding.
Ken Elmore, one of the string of traditionally fine punters at Tennessee. You see why. They get it up so high. Moss is going to have to let it bound. It takes a Tennessee bounce. Excellent coverage by the Tennessee special team, stopping it at the 10-yard line. A punt of 37 yards by Ken Elmore. Victor Jones, Calvin Wyndham in the backfield for LSU now. Hodson's going to continue in the air. It is complete out here to the 19-yard line to 26, Alvin Lee. Alvin Lee had 10 catches last year in the Tennessee LSU game, had only 11 all year coming into this game, and he's caught a few here early, 3.
Alvin Lee came a little bit off his game toward the end of last year from what we saw. Wasn't quite as confident coming across the middle, catching the football, and they need somebody to step up opposite from Tony Moss.
Here's Calvin Wyndham, number 3, trying for the first down. Futilely trying for the first down. He is stopped at the 20-yard line. Calvin Wyndham, Jr. from Orlando. Remember, Harvey Williams, the injury-plagued running back, a really great one from Hempstead, Texas, is injured again. He missed all of last year and is once again missing this game today.
Catch-22 there. It's really hard to recruit a great running back out of high school when Harvey is here. But the problem for LSU is that Harvey hasn't been able to play due to injuries.
Now it's 3rd down 1. This time they give it to Jones, the fullback. He drives for the first down to the 24-yard line. Victor Jones, 5'9", 205, inside runner. Zachary, Louisiana, primarily a blocker. LSU leads in this game 7-0 with 9:18 remaining in the first quarter. Johnny Majors has not had spectacular success against LSU. Tennessee last won in Baton Rouge in 1952. That's a bit deceiving because they haven't played here very often. Under pressure, Hodson threw the ball incomplete, out of bounds.
Now you see the strategy starting to develop, Bob. Doug Matthews, the defensive coordinator, starting to get the feel of the play calling of LSU. They're trying to keep Tennessee off balance on first down. It's been pass and play pass on first down. So Matthews comes with a blitz. Hodson doesn't have time to set up, incomplete pass.
2nd down 10 from the 24. Fuller goes in motion out of the backfield. Over the middle, complete to Moss. Decided to turn it back upfield. He did not get the first down, but will be very close to it. Near the 35, Marion Hobby makes the stop for Tennessee. A gain of, let's call it, 9 yards. Moss is slow to get up. has his helmet off. Let's see what happens, Tim.
Get the ball to Tony Moss. He knows what he's doing out there in that field. You see how he finds that open spot, waits for Hodson to find him, scoots back upfield, twisting, turning. Might have jammed that shoulder into the turf.
Moss has 3 catches for 47 yards today, including that touchdown catch. Had 38 catches coming into this ball game. He is the man in the passing game. Let's hope he'll be all right. Perhaps just had his bell rung. He's limping a little bit. I guess I'm saying that more hopefully than anything.
Now Hodson unloads it. He goes down. Puts it right on the numbers to Moss, and Moss is best after he catches the football. Spinning, turning, and drilled by Bradley.
Coming off to the sideline now, Tony Moss. They'll be checking him over very carefully as they measure the attempt at the first down. It was not quite there, as we told you, so it will be very short yardage here, less than a yard to go for the first down. It'll be 3rd down near the 35. Archer's wondering, along with his quarterback Hodson, where is Wendell Davis, where is Raji McGee, some of the great receivers of the past few years who are not on this LSU team now. Fumble on the snap. Hodson dives forward and I believe got the first down. Poised play by Hodson after he bobbled the ball, and I think he got enough for the first down.
Now you have to go back to the think tank right now. Mike Archer's on the phone with Ed Zombrecker. Now you got to change your philosophy right now. Because the guy that makes things happen, the guy that you most rely on to come up with the big plays for you is out of there. Now, how does that bother Hodson? Well, he's just not as sure where these other receivers are going to end up. You know, they've got good ability, but he doesn't know how they're going to read the coverage. 1st and 10 from the 35. Wyndham out here to the 39-yard line. I see Tony Moss down around the 20-yard line on the LSU sideline over there jogging, working on his knee, talking to trainers. Looks like he'll be all right. He's picking them up and laying them down over there and now just chatting with the trainers. So perhaps Tony Moss will be able to return to the lineup. There he is, number 6. There's the leading receiver in the SEC right now, and he's being replaced by a true freshman.
That's being number 9, Wes Jacobs from Crowley, Louisiana. On the 2nd down, 7. Hodson, nowhere to go. Out to about the 42. First down markers at the 45. Down goes Tommy Hodson. Well, he has been, we see him tackle there as he tried to run out of trouble. Hodson has been hit more times than a dartboard the last couple of years.
He really has, and he has taken, I think, some undeserved abuse because of that. You saw the same thing happen to Kerwin Bell of Florida. When he lost Ricky Natile and McDonald and those fellas down there, they replaced him with inexperienced receivers, and Kerwin Bell hadn't changed, but people weren't running the routes the way they should. The quarterback, though, is the one that's going to take the abuse, and it's unfortunate.
Tony Moss back in the ball game. Number 6 is lined up out wide to the bottom of your screen on the 3rd down 3. Hodson, you'll be looking for him. Doesn't see him. Fumble. LSU maintained possession of the ball. Hodson came up with it himself. Couldn't find an open receiver, and the maligned linebackers and secondary of Tennessee held on that play, and LSU will punt it away. Rene Bourgeois comes in to punt.
Great job by the Tennessee defense of faking the blitz, getting Hodson to change the play, and then coming out playing zone.
Number 5 you saw in the orange and white, Thomas T.D. Woods. A great athlete in his own right for Tennessee. You might compare him to Tony Moss. Beautiful punt by Bourgeois. Woods is going to jump out of the way, does not fair catch it, and it will go dead at the 7-yard line. A great punt by Rene Bourgeois, 55 yards. 37, barbecue shrimp. First down 10. Tennessee trying to run it inside, driving out to the 9. Chuck Webb. Chuck Webb, the redshirt freshman from Toledo, is a tremendous running back, but what a potent 1-2 punch Johnny Majors had with Reggie Cobb and Chuck Webb. Both fresh, both great backs, both could catch the ball, both could run the ball, and now the burden is on this young redshirt freshman's shoulders. Second down 8. The play fake. Kelly taking it upstairs, down the middle, has a man there. That's Morgan, can't get it. Near midfield. Number 80, the junior from Cleveland, Ohio, Anthony Morgan, has the great breakaway speed. Nice execution by Kelly in terms of the play fake and the setup.
And Andy Kelly acts like a quarterback. Talking to Jim Hoffner before the game, who works with them, and we fooled our cameraman there. You see Morgan making the break on Wayne Williams, and this guy can fly. He's 4'3", and look out. Kelly just leads him a little bit too much.
Third down 8. They'll give it to Webb. Finds a little opening, but it closed quickly. Out to the 14. Webb goes down. Carl Dunbar, who had been injured, gets into the ball game and comes up with a big third down play. From Opelousas, Louisiana. Tennessee will punt it away. Ken Elmore.
Pete Jenkins down on the field welcoming his charges off the field, and they just have to suck it up. Dunbar is hurt. His foot's bothering him. He's got to play. Boutte has got to play. Last week, Clint James played with 104 fever.
Elmore's punt, a line drive. Kinchin will take it at the 45. LSU will have good field position here. Kinchin's got a lane. And out of bounds at the 32-yard line. He was hit by J.J. McCleskey, and Mike Archer told us that they had worked a lot of overtime on special teams this week because it had been a disappointing area for LSU. A 23-yard return by Kitchen.
Well, after the kickoff return, Mike Archer got in Kitchen's face. He missed the hole, ran around it, and he got all over him. Said, "We need you to be productive, son," and this time he did it. Fought his way upfield. Look at him jumping toward the sidelines. He's excited.
First down 10 from the 32. Here is Eddie Fuller. To the 30-yard line goes Fuller. LSU just running so they can pass.
You got to keep them off balance on first down. The bottom line is this. Tennessee knows they're throwing the ball. They're coming with everybody. The only person they really have to be concerned about defending is Tony Moss. But they're going to come, and they're going to come on the outside. They're going to try to attack what they feel is a vulnerable part of the LSU offensive line.
Second down 8. With some time over the middle. It is complete. That's a tough catch. Penalty marker down. The catch made at the 12-yard line by Todd Kinchin. You see 89 Halliburton, that's the tight end trying to block, but Kinchin, 49, through that crowd of players, was the guy who made the grab. It was a 12-yard reception, and what a reception it was.
And his brother Brian, of course, played at LSU and is now down with the Miami Dolphins. Todd got off to a rough start this afternoon with the kickoff return, and then he dropped the Hodgson pass earlier. Fine catch.
Al Ford's the referee. He'll explain what happened down there.
Defensive pass interference on the play. When the pass was completed, it's first down.
Hodgson rolled. They're trying to get a little roll to that pocket. Fires it downfield. I'm not sure that that wasn't meant for Halliburton. You know, he catches Preston Warren's helmet, too. Good grief.
Yeah, he had Preston's head and the ball. First down 10. That was 2 receptions statistically. Good block back there for Hodgson, who just keeps it and dives down to about the 15-yard line. Hodgson was about to go down. Victor Jones saved him when Kerry Bailey, 53, was about to get him back there.
You certainly wouldn't refer to Tommy Hodgson as a scrambler, but he does have good feet. He's a good athlete. If he has to run, he can find an open area. He doesn't want to, but he takes it upfield. Last year, he seemed to go through a period where he was not taking good care of the football, throwing it in places where it shouldn't go. This year, it seems to be a little bit more conservative.
Second down 9 from the 16. Look at that play. They snapped it to the back. The quarterback, Hodson, just stepped away from the center, and they snapped it to Eddie Fuller, who ran it over to the right side down to the 7-yard line, and it should be enough for a first down.
Eddie Zombrecker told me that this was going to be coming. I thought they may use it in a short yard situation. The quarterback, acting confused, walks over, gets everybody to relax on defense. The quarterback's not under the center, just snaps the ball to Fuller. Legal play, no problem. Quarterback is in motion as a back would be.
First down goal at the 7. LSU leading at 7-0. 2:34 to go in the quarter. Hodson. Diving catch by Alvin Lee to the 1-yard line. Or is that Eddie Fuller? Eddie Fuller with the grab down there out of the backfield.
When you're 1 in 5, Bob, you reach deep. You know, and we've seen a double reverse. We've seen I've never actually seen that play run before with the quarterback moving out from behind the center. But Mike Archer and his staff doing whatever they can do to add to the momentum they're trying to create.
Quarterback in motion, I guess you'd call that, wouldn't you?
Yep.
On the goal line, and a loss on the play of about 1 as Victor Jones gets nothing on the left side. Kelly Days came up from the right corner to initiate the tackle down there. It will bring up 3rd down and short yardage for LSU. LSU, you saw that statistic. 14 passing touchdowns, only 3 rushing touchdowns all year. LSU has been unable to run the ball effectively. 3rd and goal from the 2. Jones and Fuller in the backfield. They're going to try to throw it from the 2-yard line. Diving grab, touchdown LSU, Eddie Fuller.
Eddie Fuller gets the Blue Collar Running Back of the Year award. Nothing real fancy.
15 have come through the air. They threw it there on 3rd and goal from the 2. Pickens almost stepped out of bounds, but he did not. Now he does, out here at the 22-yard line.
It's a team effort. They need to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Kenshin's 23-yard punt return helped set up that touchdown, too. Don't let that go neglected. Here's Webb. Goes to the right side. That's Tony Thompson. Thompson breaking loose and driven out of bounds after he gets the first down at the 41. Tony Thompson, the only real backup to Chuck Webb since Reggie Cobb left the team, a junior from Lake Wales, Florida, and his fresh legs gets a 19-yard gain and a first down.
And these running backs keep coming at you from Tennessee. Thompson to the outside. Wayne Williams tries to hang on, can't do it. Jimmy Young lets him get outside there, and now Thompson's underway.
Until that carry, Thompson had 2 carries for 4 yards on the year. Got 19 on that. And across the 47-yard line goes Thompson again.
Yeah, I'd give it to him again.
I think I would, too. I'm sick. Terminally sick in this area. 2nd down and 4. Only 29 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Poles the ball carrier for Tennessee. LSU leading 14-0. Georgia up by a touchdown over Kentucky in the second quarter. Michigan way out in front of Indiana. You see, Schembechler has never lost a homecoming game. That is a cardinal sin, of course, in Ann Arbor. 1st and 10 from the 48. Left a couple of players home this week, some good players too in the defensive backfield. He left Keith Denson home as we wind down here at the quarter, and also Floyd Miley, one for not practicing well, the other because of lack of academic focus. From the 47, Tennessee trailing 14-0, opening play of the second quarter. Kelly dumping it out and almost picked off, incomplete, intended for Greg Emsler, the junior. Kelly not completed a pass in his last 4 attempts. On the day is only 1 out of 5. Over the middle, has a man wide open. This one's complete to the 32-yard line. Carl Pickens, the redshirt freshman from Murphy, North Carolina, a gain of 21 yards.
I think one of the requirements for being a receiver at Tennessee is you have to be able to high jump 7 feet. Good protection here. 3-man rush by LSU. Kelly stays in there. Walkup can't get back in time to make the hit on Pickens, and Pickens makes the catch coming over the middle. Good concentration by the young man.
Tennessee trailing by 2 touchdowns, but on the drive. Here's the draw. Webb gets near the 25-yard line. Good job of stringing it out. Shannon Cornelius, redshirt freshman, made the play as Chuck Webb gets it at the 25-yard line. Screen on the 2nd down 4. Webb tries the middle. Inside the 20, 1st down, Tennessee. Carl Dunbar made the stop.
When you're playing a 3-man line, you can't say enough about the importance of having a strong nose guard. Right now, Scott Wharton playing in there for LSU. They're able to control him man-to-man and bring the guard around on Osbury. You can't be blocked one-to-one if you're one-on-one if you're that nose man.
1st and 10 from the 18. Webb will try the left side. Has a lot of blockers out there. Takes advantage. Dives inside the 10. Near the 1st down goes Chuck Webb as Tennessee getting this running game on track now. Webb with 45 yards in 9 carries, and Tennessee has rushed for 74 yards.
This has become the strength of their football team, the running game. In the last several years with Jeff Francis, as you see Johnny Majors conferring with Jim Bates, Jeff Francis has carried their offense. They've gone a lot to the air. They've brought the ball back down on the ground under Phil Fulmer, and they're trying to establish their dominance.
2nd down 1 from the 10. They'll give it to that big fullback, Roland Poles, who was hit by linebacker Nigel Ventris. The ball just inside the 10-yard line, and Kelly goes over to talk to the Brain Trust. Sees Clark Rose, the senior from Chattanooga, led the Vols in hitting with a .344 average. The outfielder is majoring in English literature and has a Clark Rose for lasting quality and value. They fit America. On the 3rd down 1. Close to the 1st down goes Chuck Webb. It's going to be really close. No, they say he got more yardage than earlier. It was apparent. It'll be a 1st down. Down to the 6-yard line. Looked like he stepped out right there at about the 8, but they mark it at the 6. 1st down, Tennessee.
Trying to string it outside here. Raymond coming up, taking on the blocker. Got to try to contain that. Raymond's got to turn that play inside. Let it pop out a little outside of him, and Chuck Webb got the necessary yardage. Good job of running by Webb.
Tennessee trailing 14-0. 1st down goal. Webb tries the left side. Driving down to about the 3-yard line. Reggie Walker with the stop for LSU. 12:25 to go in the 1st half. That was the 12th play of this drive. 72 yards. They've gone until that play. About 75 yards now on the drive. 2nd down goal from the 3. There you go. This drive has consumed 4 minutes, 20 seconds. They'll try Webb on the left side. The dive doesn't get there. He stopped at the 1-yard line. Now it will be 3rd down goal from the 1 for Tennessee.
Let's watch this line.
Right in front of the Tennessee fans. Full house backfield. Touchdown, Tennessee. Greg Amsler, number 47. It was by mere inches, but all you have to do is break the plane. Amsler did it. That's his 4th touchdown rushing this year. Tennessee's back in the ball game now, trailing 14-6. Point after attempt by Greg Burke. It's good. It's a 14-7 game with 11 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the 1st half. Tennessee with a very effective drive on the ground.
Where they have to go. Watch this surge by the left guard, Myslinski and McCray and Reeves up here. Watch the surge coming off the ball from those three folks. They get the movement they need on that LSU front, and then the effort from Amsler over the top. 7 points. Tennessee.
As the Vols ran 14 plays on that drive, 12 of them on the ground. It's 14-7 LSU, 11-12 to go in the game in the first half. Greg Burke with the kickoff. This is going to be trouble. Kenshin picks it up and is leveled at the 8-yard line, and once again the special teams have risen up here to bite the LSU hands. Jason Julian made the stop, but confusion down there. A bobbled kickoff, and inside the 10, LSU will have to start their drive.
Well, that last drive, this game looked a lot like the LSU-Auburn game. In that game, LSU only had the ball twice in the first half. And if you can move the ball patiently down the field like that, that's the way to attack this LSU defense, because it's going to give a little bit at a time.
Single setback is Calvin Wyndham. He'll get the handoff and drive out to about the 11-yard line. Mark Moore with the stop for Tennessee. Moore, the junior from Charleston, West Virginia. Calvin Wyndham, number 3, is a junior also from Orlando, Florida.
And Victor Jones is going the whole way at fullback because Jay Egloff pulled a hamstring on Wednesday and is not available.
2nd down, 8. Wyndham in motion. They're going to give it to Jones. Bounces off the line of scrimmage. Doesn't have the outside speed, and he's down at the 10. Tracy Hayworth, 88, leading the way for this fired-up Volunteer defensive team now. LSU got in front 14-0, but Tennessee's drive that just made it 14-7 has fired up this Tennessee team. They've got LSU bottled up.
And now they're playing a lot more confidently.
Hodson out of the shotgun. Moss in motion from the backfield. Hodson stepping up in there. Completing it to Wyndham. He caught it, bobbled it, incomplete. That will be ruled a no catch, incomplete. Tennessee's defense holds. The man who laid the hit on him, Kelly Days, number 39 for Tennessee, and Rene Bourgeois, who had a 55-yard punt earlier, will have to punt from his end zone.
And they're all over Tony Moss, Bob. They're looking for him everywhere. They're trying to get a vice on him, a double team. One man taking him inside, the other man taking him outside. They're not going to let Tony Moss catch the ball on 3rd down. So somebody else has to step up for LSU.
Thomas Woods will take this Rene Bourgeois punt. High snap. Good job of getting it away. A beautiful punt by Bourgeois. Woods at his own 35. Right up the middle and down hard at the 43. That was a collision. Number 28, Robbie Green, put his head on him. A punt of 55, a return of 9 yards. Now there's a fight down on the far end zone there, down by the 10-yard line. Number 40 is Tennessee linebacker Shazon Bradley. Looked like he was mixing it up with Victor Jones. I've got this crowd stirred up as if they needed anything. Now remember, Victor Jones is the only healthy fullback on the LSU roster, and Shazon Bradley the starting middle linebacker for Tennessee. If either team loses one of these guys, it'll be severe. Al Ford will tell us what the judgment will be.
If Jones leaves the game, Bob, they've got to go to a 2 tight end, 1 back set, or a 3 wide receiver set. That's their only option then.
They've both been ejected. Al Ford telling Johnny Majors that now. That means LSU has no, to speak of, healthy fullback. And Tennessee loses their starting middle linebacker, Shazon Bradley.
And offsetting personal fouls on the play. They go offset. Both players have been ejected from the ball game.
No penalty yardage assessed, but Victor Jones, Tennessee's middle linebacker, Shazon Bradley, also ejected. 1st and 10 Volunteers from the 44. This is Thompson to the 48-yard line.
Now you talk about losing Victor Jones for LSU. Shazan Bradley was the starting nose guard last year. Very aggressive, very upfield oriented, kind of a spark plug in the middle of that Tennessee defense. And they're going to come with number 45, Sean Walker, I'm sure, but they'll miss Bradley.
Second down, 6. Tennessee trailing 14-7. The play fake, the option, the toss. This is Webb. Needs the block. Doesn't get it. Down at the 49-yard line. Second down, 15. Kelly with time over the middle has his man. It is complete at the 35-yard line. The ball came loose, but after the whistle, it is a Tennessee first down. Thomas Woods with the grab, a gain of 26 yards. Corey Raymond made the stop for LSU. So Tennessee got it all back on the arm of Andy Kelly.
Not much room to throw this one in there, and Andy Kelly knifes it through the middle of this LSU defense. 20 yards down the field, looking for it, looking for his favorite target. Sure-handed Thomas Woods. And he makes the tackle with Raymond all over him.
8:22 to go first half. LSU leading 14-7. Tennessee driving again. Here's Thompson. He finds a little running room to the 28-yard line. Tony Thompson, the junior, is backing up Chuck Webb at the tailback spot. He had 4 yards total carrying the ball coming into this game, did Tony Thompson. And thus far this afternoon, Thompson now with 36 yards on only 4 carries. Second down, long 3. Billy moves Reeves, the tight end, to the wing on the right for the blocking. Gives it to Thompson, who gets the first down to the 25. Tony Thompson. Mark Boutte made the stop. Mark playing hurt, as Tim told you earlier, the sophomore. Mark's number 95.
And this is the way to attack that LSU defense. Wear them out inside. Wear them out inside. They're thin in terms of personnel. They're playing with injured people up front. They're thin in as far as replacements. Pete Jenkins couldn't even come up with 6 linemen to put in against Kentucky in a goal line situation. So just wear them out. Wear them out. Wear them out. Be patient.
First and 10 from the 25-yard line. There's Reeves again setting up on the wing to the right side. The man who scored the touchdown, number 47, Emsler, off the left side, inside the 20. Oliver Lawrence made this stop.
There's Pete Jenkins, the defensive coordinator here at LSU. And he's got these guys pumped up, playing as well as they can. Now watch Boutte, number 95. Dunbar closes it down. Both those guys playing injured. But Phil Fulmer's offensive line for Tennessee, especially on that left side, really blowing off the ball. Fisher doing a good job at center. Mislinski at left guard. McCray.
Second down 4. Kelly to go to the air. Has plenty of time. Over the middle. It is complete for the first down to the 12-yard line to Greg Emsler. Reggie Walker came up from his linebacker spot to make the tackle. Tennessee hoping to tie this game up. Vols had fallen behind 14-0. 14-7 now with 6:20 to go in the half, and Tennessee has it first down 10 from the 12.
Well, you talk about won and lost records, and LSU's 1-5, but those 5, they've been in 4 of those losses. They've been in the game, and it's a matter of making big plays at critical times, and this is a critical time for both teams.
Kelly, short drop, has a man, complete. Woods knocked out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Wayne Williams over to make the play. T.D. Woods, a senior from Gallatin, Tennessee. One of the most versatile receivers ever at the University of Tennessee, the University of Wide Receivers. Some people like to call that football program with so many great ones.
You got a great receiver in Woods, and then you've got Pickens, who can high jump 7 feet, Harper, who high jumps 7'2", and you've got 2 defensive backs that are both under 6 feet playing corner.
Second down and 5. To the 3-yard line, Chuck Webb, close to the first down. The first down marker is right at the 2. It'll be close. It looks to be shy of the first down for Tennessee. They'll bring the sticks in and measure it. 5:42 to go in the first half. LSU got out in front, 14-0. Tennessee coming back via the run primarily. Big pass play from Andy Kelly to T.D. Woods to get out of that long situation. But other than that, on the ground.
And this is the kind of game that the coordinators love. Phil Fulmer, an offensive lineman, former offensive lineman. Pete Jenkins, a defensive lineman. They love going at it like this. Wham, wham. I think Jenkins feels a little bit cheated in the sense that, you know, he's got a couple of cylinders missing in his engine. And Tennessee is right now wearing out that LSU front three.
Third down, less than a yard from the 3. Webb. I don't know if he got it. Maybe his extra second effort, the surge after he was hit, may have taken him inside the 2 for the first down. Let's watch for the spot. Johnny Majors believes his team has achieved first down yardage. If so, it'll be first and goal from about the 1.5. It is, in fact. First down, Tennessee.
Let's watch this offensive line going at it again. Just firing off the ball. LSU defenders trying to bury their heads, trying to cause the back to jump. But that time, that offensive line of Phil Fulmer's got the jump on him. Created the movement.
Amsler pulls Webb in the backfield. Here's Webb, right side. Touchdown, Tennessee! Well, that touchdown scored right in front of the Volunteer fans who've made the trek here to homecoming LSU, and Tennessee now 1 point away from tying this ball game with 5 minutes to go in the first half. The thing that really started this field position-wise was the bobble on the kickoff return by LSU. They had to start from inside their own 10, couldn't do it. Tennessee started this drive with good field position. Point after is good. It is tied at 14 all. 5 minutes to go in the first half from Baton Rouge. Mississippi State 4-2 going into today's action. Of course, Alabama undefeated as of today. Tennessee and LSU here tied at 14 with 5:04 to go in the first half. Now, LSU started their problems in terms of Tennessee's scoring drive on the kickoff last time. Kinchin and Wes Jacobs. Jacobs, remember, is a true freshman for LSU. He's number 9 on the right side of your screen. Kinchin, number 49. Special teams have been a problem for the Tigers all year long. Here's Jacobs, the freshman, from the 4. Out to the 23 as penalty markers go down. Looks like a potential flip. That could put LSU right back in the hole again. That's what got them in trouble last time.
Those last 2 drives by Tennessee, 20 runs out of 24 plays. But when Andy Kelly needed to put it in there, he did. Just a rifle shot down the middle to Thomas Woods, and that's the kind of combination that makes for a great offense and great drives. When you do have to go to the well, when you do need the thrower, you want someone there that's confident.
On the return, half the distance to goal line, first down.
So LSU starting at virtually the same place they did last time. Once again, a foul up on the special teams. Mike Archer was afraid of this coming into the game today. 56 yards Tennessee drove the ball in 4 minutes, 26 seconds. Now, those 2 scoring drives by Tennessee have consumed a little over 10 minutes of time here in the first half. Keeping Hodson and the passing offense off the field. Hodson. Nice job of getting rid of it to Alvin Lee, and he gets to the 16-yard line. Hodson, a heady quarterback, and Tim Foley, I've been asking people all weekend long what they think about the 6'3" Tommy Hodson and his line. This will be first down and 14. They'll just have to try to run it, get a little bit of breathing room. Out to the 7-yard line goes Eddie Fuller.
See, on first down, they had a screen on, Bob. The ball was going to be thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Linemen are heading downfield. And they couldn't get that in there. Hodson avoided the rush and then popped a pass downfield, which resulted in the penalty. So now you got to try to dig it out down here.
You talk about 2 different philosophies. Look at the first down play selection of these 2 teams. Hodson. Long to Moss, just had to throw it out of bounds. Once again, Hodson had people in his face. No time to get rid of that ball. That was a pretty long route that Moss had to run, and Hodson needed the time, didn't get it. Hobby was right back there in his face, number 90 for Tennessee. So this is going to be third down and 12.
And that's, as you look into the eyes of Tommy Hodson, as he gets the signal from the sideline, he did the smart thing. Kelly Days did a fine job on the jam with Tony Moss, followed him back undercover, and he couldn't stick that fade in there, so he just put a little extra juice on it and threw it harmlessly out of bounds.
See if Tennessee will lay back their ears and come after Hodson here on a 3rd down and 12. He gets rid of it. Has a man, Alvin Lee, a great diving grab by Alvin Lee to the 34-yard line. This is the young man who's had trouble holding on to the ball this season, and 61 yards today. Hodson stands in the pocket. It's complete again, and the ball is loose, but after the catch was made at the 43-yard line by Ronnie Halliburton, a gain of 23 yards. Remember, and a good call by the officials at the 42-yard line of Tennessee. 1st down, LSU, tied at 14 all. Hodson in the pocket. Goes a little bit again. There's Halliburton again. He's to the 25-yard line. In motion. Hodson on the run. You won't see that happen more than a couple of times all year off the chest of Tony Moss. Good quarterback pressure by Sean Walker that time, but Hodson rolled out of there and really should have had another completion. He ejected
Bradley.
The now ejected Shazam.
And here he comes, trying to get some heat on Hodson. And that, you find Tommy Hodson in that position a lot after the ball has gone. He holds on to it as long as he can. Put it on the numbers to Moss, and Moss couldn't hold on.
Fred Norfleet is playing in place of the ejected Victor Jones at fullback for LSU. On the 2nd down 10 from the 25. Eddie Fuller didn't know where to go on that play. Hodson didn't have time. The drive started on the 9, remember. Hodson looking for Lee. Good coverage by Tennessee.
Wasn't there, Bob. Threw that one away. Wasn't there underneath. Good underneath coverage there by Jason Julian. Just no place to throw it in. See that undercover man, Jason Julian, couldn't get it in there. Another thing that happened here at LSU, Bob, is the seniors got together on Monday and had a meeting without the coaches, and they talked about the fact that since they were freshmen, they've been twice SEC champs, and they weren't going to go out as losers. Trying to pull things together.
3rd down 10 from the 25 out of the shotgun. Remember, 2 touchdown passes on 3rd down earlier. Penalty marker down. Kitchen with a nice grab. Turns it inside and gets the 1st down, but a penalty flag is on the ground. To the 8-yard line, Eddie Fuller. 1st down marker is just inside the 5. Hobby and Warren making the stop for Tennessee.
And he was following big number 66, Chris Truax, who got his 1st start last week against Kentucky.
They'll spotted about the 7.5-yard line. 1:50 remaining in the 1st half. LSU got in front 14-0. Johnny Major's Volunteers came back with 2 well-executed drives to tie it up at 14, and now LSU started this drive at their 9-yard line. Fuller tries the left side. Broke a tackle and dives to the 5. Eddie Fuller drives to about the 3-yard line. Now remember, all year long, LSU has scored only 3 touchdowns on the ground, 15 in the air, and they threw for a touchdown on a 3rd and 2 early in the ballgame.
And 3rd and 2 is a passing down when you have their offense.
This is 2nd down 2. Fuller and Fred Norfleet in the backfield. That's Fuller in motion. The play fake. Hodson wanted to get Fuller. Comes back the other way. Halliburton had it. Couldn't hold on to it. He was wide open. You don't see an orange jersey in the picture. Well, that's because Tennessee's wearing white jerseys today, but you know what I mean.
Well, he had his pick that time. You had Halliburton short. Alvin Lee was deep. There was nobody on the left side of the field. Good fake by Hodson. There's Halliburton working against the grain. You see Lee come across your picture. Which one you want? They're both wide open.
I think now I would have chosen Lee. This will be 3rd down 2.
Spoken like a true fan.
27 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Hodson's going to try to do it again. Incomplete. The other tight end, Willie Williams, dropped it. That's 5 dropped passes for LSU today. It'll be 4th down and 2, and LSU sends on the field goal team. Hodson must be beside himself.
Well, one thing that Mike Archer says about Tommy Hodgson, that he's an intense competitor and he never points a finger at anybody. He never says, I'm under pressure, or they're not catching the ball. Great read, stands in there and takes the heat. And that goes as an incompletion for Tommy Hodgson.
Browndyke has not missed a field goal all year. He's 7 out of 7. Severe angle here. Browndyke is 8 out of 8. And LSU drove this ball from their 9 to the Tennessee 2 and could come away with only 3 points. 18 seconds remaining in the half, but LSU has regained the lead. That was an 89-yard drive. Coming up at
two real good football teams. Tennessee embarrassed last week against Alabama. They've got something to prove. LSU with their backs against the wall, fighting for survival, probably more on the line. I think they probably feel they need this win more than Tennessee, but Tennessee is intense, and you know they want to stay in the hunt. They still feel they have a shot at the Sugar Bowl, and they came here ready to play.
The squib kick. So his funny bounces down there. Out to the 25-yard line comes Pickens. He's got a gap. Pickens with a great speed. He needs a block. One man to beat. He gets the block. Pickens all the way. Touchdown, Tennessee. There are no penalty flags. From Murphy, North Carolina, with the kickoff return for Tennessee, and they have regained the lead just like that. We said at the beginning of the ball game, Tennessee is exceptional in kickoff and punt returns. LSU has special team problems that have caused them trouble all year long, and it's happened once again. Well, there's a happy freshman. The point after attempt now, with 2 seconds remaining in the half. Is good, and Tennessee has regained the lead by a score of 21-17. Unofficially, a 98-yard kickoff return by Pickens. Remember, 1982, Tennessee's Willie Gault did a similar return of 96 yards. Watch this one here. The Tiger Stadium crowd was stunned then when Gault answered and LSU scored, just like now. That game ended in a 24-24 tie. LSU went on to an 8-2-1 record on the trip to the Orange Bowl against Nebraska. Gault and the Vols played in the Peach Bowl against Iowa, and here comes Pickens.
And here comes Pickens, and this is just a knife in your heart if you're LSU's defense. And a little trouble handling the ball. Good squib kick. And just a fine job of blocking. Look at that escort.
And the official yardage, 93 yards on the kickoff return by Pickens.
Robbie Green trying to buy time at the end of that return, hoping that somebody else would be back in it. But I tell you what, they've got about 4 or 5 guys in that Tennessee team that can leave a vapor trail. They just, you know, when they get out in the open, it's just no stopping.
Tennessee keeping it on the ground with only 2 seconds. They don't want to let anything happen here, and that was a wise move as the 2 seconds elapse. And at the half, LSU had regained the lead 17-14, but a 93-yard kickoff return makes it 21-17, and it's still not over. There's a penalty marker down. So despite the clock running down to double zeros, if this is against Tennessee, and I think it's going to be a late hit call against the Vols, that means there will be another.
After the play was over.
Aha.
Half-half.
So it can end on a penalty if it's after the play was over. And it was, and it did, and it'll be tagged on at the beginning of the half. But Tennessee leads here, 21-17. Let's go to our Atlanta studios now, where Craig Sager is standing by with all the scores and highlights from other college action.
Thanks, Bob. Eastern Conference in the 80s. Names like Bo, Herschel, and Emmett. But it is a long-lasting tradition. 3 decades ago, Tennessee's Johnny Majors put himself in the SEC record book as the 1956 Player of the Year. Majors led the Vols to an undefeated season, a Sugar Bowl berth, and lost the Heisman Trophy in the closest balloting ever to Paul Hornung of Notre Dame. At LSU 3 years later, that is only in the second quarter. Meanwhile,
From Baton Rouge, the sound of Tennessee's Pride of the Southland Band with over 250 members, directed by W.J. Julian. After this look at the University of Tennessee, a feature on Gary Hollingsworth.
Best thing about UT? My feeling is it's size.
I would say size.
I teach high school right now, and I, do a little publicity work for UT because I really think that it was a fantastic school because of the diversity and because of the people. The place is big, but it works in small ways.
It doesn't seem as big as it's supposed to be. I don't know why, but it just doesn't.
There's still a small college atmosphere within the UT system.
I feel at home here. I like it. I love it here.
Green, and the pass is...
3rd and 10, the Vols 30. Hodson scrambles over the middle to Tony Moss. He goes into the end zone for the touchdown, and it's 7-0. But the Vols didn't give up. Greg Amsler, a 1-yard dive, and the score in half. Then Chuck Webb scores from 2 yards out, 14 all. A field goal just before the half by LSU. They kick off to Carl Pickens, the freshman from Murphy, North Carolina. A high school All-American where he scored 24 touchdowns his senior year. Also a state high jump champion where he cleared 7-1, averaged 27 points a game in basketball. And he's going to be a great one, my friends. 21-17. East.
This game has developed as we thought. Tennessee running the ball, LSU throwing the football. And special teams made the difference at the end of the first half. Tennessee coming up with a big kickoff return.
93-yarder by Carl Pickens, and there was a penalty on the half-ending play after the whistle had sounded. Thus, the 15-yard personal foul call against Tennessee assessed on the kickoff. LSU is able to kick it right into the end zone, thus no return and no worry about Pickens. The first half statistics, you see, we talk about Tennessee running, LSU throwing. On the left of the screen, second number down, 111 for Tennessee. On the right, third number down, 181 yards in the air for LSU. For Tennessee, Tim, first and 10 from the 20-yard line. Kelly, only 5 of 9 first half for 70 yards. Tennessee continues to keep it on the ground. Out to the 26 goes Chuck Webb. He's hit by Clint James.
Tennessee starts out the second half with an unbalanced line, running it into the sidelines as we look at the first half possessions. Tennessee with the football. Took them a while to get warmed up, but 3 touchdowns ended out the first half.
And Tennessee's players down is Charles McCray at the 25-yard line. McCray, a defensive lineman last year, been moved to left tackle on the Tennessee offensive front this year. That's number
2 years as a middle guard, as a nose guard. Then they moved him over in their reshuffling last year to left tackle. He's done a fine job.
Second down 3 from the 27. Tennessee leading 21-17. Here's Chuck Webb, first down out near the 35-yard line. Jimmy Young made the stop, so LSU got in front of this ball game 14-0. Tennessee came back, tied it up. Then LSU, an 89-yard drive, but couldn't get it into the end zone thanks to 2 drop passes. Had to get a field goal and led with just seconds remaining in the half, 17-14. LSU kicks off to Tennessee. 93 yards later, Pickens is in the end zone, and momentum as the half ended was all in the hands of Tennessee. Chuck Webb can't turn the corner. Good defensive play. coming up to trip him up, left outside linebacker, 99, Oliver Lawrence.
And a great job by little Wayne Williams sacrifice. So the strength of their running, the strength of their passing on the same side, and they're going with basically the same mentality and same philosophy that ran throughout the first half. Run the ball at LSU.
On second down 8, hand off to the fullback out to the 42-yard line. Goes Roland Poles, takes his 250 yards out there, and then to the turf here at Tiger Stadium. It's homecoming 1989 for LSU. Coming into this game 1-5 on the season. Tennessee's Johnny Majors got upset after going 0-6 last year. Reshuffled the coaching staff, made some changes. Tennessee got out to a 5-0 record on this season before losing last week to Alabama. 3rd and 3 from the 42. Kelly short drop. It's complete to Thomas Woods, just enough for the first down. Jimmy Young there to make the stop, but there's the senior intelligence of Thomas Woods. He got just enough to get the first down on the catch.
Nice catch by Woods, and Jimmy Young playing it also like a veteran, good instincts, and he's the only returning starter in that secondary. And he's provided good senior leadership back there. Good feet. An intelligent young man. Not great speed.
First down Tennessee at the 46-yard line. Webb tries the middle. Drives it out to about the 49-yard line. Clint James with the stop for LSU. Carl Dunbar came into this game injured, had a foot injury, and did not start. Redshirt freshman did, but Dunbar's been playing quite a bit. Clint James has been called on to be the real load carrier on the banged-up defensive line for Mike Archer's LSU Tigers.
Fine.
Second down 6. Volunteers leading 21-17. Opening moments, third quarter. On the option, Andy Kelly. Here's the pitch. This is Thompson. Nice spin move, but LSU is all over him. Every single player of LSU is within 5 yards of that.
The Tigers are there to help out.
Third down 4 from the 49 of LSU. Kelly with that short drop and the toss out there to Terrence Cleveland. He struggled loose and got the first down. Terrence Cleveland is a little 5'8" senior from Sweetwater, Tennessee. Gain of 8 yards on the play.
Terrence Cleveland, actually their 5th wide receiver. They got him on the outside, and once again he's isolated on Jimmy Young. Jimmy Young's got to be concerned about the slot man running down. Can't really jump it right away. Cleveland fights off the tackle and gets the first down.
First down 10 from the 41-yard line. 10:47 to go, third quarter. Tennessee leading it 21-17. Kelly in the pocket over the middle. It is complete. Number 81 is Alvin Harper to the 7-yard line. A gain of 34 yards, and Tennessee punishing LSU with the pass after running most of the day.
Wear them out, wear them out, wear them out. Now they come with 4 wide receivers, Bob. They got Harper in the slot on the weak side. Just not a deep enough drop by Osbury. Fallbacher misses. Fine run. Fine throw and catch by Tennessee.
Kelly has completed 7 passes in a row now. First and goal at the 7, Tennessee, leading 21-17. Chuck Webb breaking 1 tackle, 2 tackles, but not the third, and down at the 4-yard line. Corey Raymond managed to hold on.
Good pursuit by Fallbacher to get there to help.
Probably would like to. Second down goal from the 4. Webb behind Amsler, got the block, but did not get into the end zone. He's out of the end zone by about 5 inches. 9:22 to go in the third quarter. Amsler got out in front of him there, but LSU once again pursued enough to keep him out of the end zone.
Again working to the left side. McCray and Adams over there. Amsler trying to lead the way, but just couldn't slide inside the marker.
This will be third down and about 5 inches for the touchdown. 12th play of the drive for Tennessee. Full house backfield. Webb right side. Touchdown, Tennessee. And the Tennessee fans are 120 yards away from that, down in the far end zone to the other end, but they're cheering nevertheless as Tennessee is taking a 10-point lead over LSU. That's Webb's 7th rushing touchdown on the year, and a Tennessee player is injured down on the goal line. It looks like it is Chuck Webb. Perhaps also just had the wind knocked out of it the way they're working on it. He looks to be all right. We know Johnny Majors is going. Thank you for that one. Reggie Cobb booted off the team. Chuck Webb, the only major tailback. Tony Thompson's played a little bit here today.
And I think you'll see more and more of Tony Thompson, and he looks like he's going to be something. He's got a lot of speed and quickness.
Here's Greg Burke for the point after. Tennessee leading it 27-17. And 28-17. University of Tennessee over LSU with 9:17 to go in the third quarter. In Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you see the locks for the transfer of the big freighters that come down the river here at Port Baton Rouge, Port Allen, in southern Louisiana. Baton Rouge, the state capital. At the 10, Wes Jacobs down hard at the 20-yard line. Tennessee special teams winning that war. That was Sean Walker, the man who's playing middle linebacker for Tennessee since Shazon Bradley was ejected from the game in the first half, along with fullback Victor Jones for LSU. The scoring drive, 80 yards, 12 plays, 9 runs on that play. But again, the key is set up the pass with the excellent running game. Hudson almost has it picked off. Batted out of the air by Mark Moore. Then it was Sean Walker who made the attempted interception. LSU got started very well in this football game and took a 14-0 lead.
It is a long drive. There's a scarcity of big plays for LSU.
Out of the shotgun, the handoff goes to Eddie Fuller. And Fuller out here across the 25 with the 27. Kelly Days made the stop.
Emotionally, it was kind of a strange turn at the end of the first half. LSU's playing its homecoming here. They have a couple of drop balls and then kick a field goal. The fans here booed. You know, they wanted 7, they got 3. The ensuing kickoff meant 7 points for Tennessee, and then Tennessee starts the second half with that big drive. A real emotional mood swing here in Tiger Stadium.
Hudson with some time. It's complete for the first down. Out to the 33-yard line is where they will measure the forward progress. Sean Walker makes the stop. And on the first down 10, to the 36-yard line goes Eddie Fuller. LSU needs to get something going in the running game if they want to protect Hudson. Only 55 yards rushing all afternoon. That compares to Tennessee's 144.
And
this is second down 6 from the 36-yard line. LSU showing blitz there. Here they come. Hudson hit as he throws. It is complete to Fuller. There's a penalty marker down, however. Fuller out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Hudson is down, but the penalty marker is apparently going to go against LSU. Illegal procedure. It will nullify a 40-yard reception and run by Fuller. I think the movement may have come from the redshirt freshman, Fred Norfleet, playing in place of the ejected fullback, Victor Jones. Watch 43.
You get motion from Fuller. Everything's fine there, and Norfleet.
Big play happens. Something goes wrong for LSU. That's been the difference in 5-1 and 1-5. Hudson rifles it over the middle. One-arm grab by Kenshin at the 48-yard line. Alvin Lee made a great catching the helmet and Preston Warren's head earlier in the game. Moss is open. Drives to the 10-yard line. Tony Moss. 5 to 10. Hudson. It is complete to the 3-yard line. First down, Todd Kenshin catching it in traffic. Eddie Fuller trying to run it in. No success. Remember, of 18 touchdowns this year, LSU has passed for 15, has run for only 3, and now it is going to be 3rd down and goal from the 2.
To try to put a solid front together offensively in the line.
Fuller and Norfleet in the backfield. Play fake. Hudson rolling and looking. He had the chance to run it in. Instead turned to throw to Kenshin and missed it. It's easy to say from up here, but Hodson had, it looked like, enough room to get into the end zone. Let's take a look at it on the replay again.
This is the same play they ran in the first quarter to score.
No, he didn't.
That one got away from him. That one just flew on him a little bit. And the thing about him, he's always looking downfield, never gives up on it.
4th down, LSU's going for it. Hodson saw what I didn't see, and that was a big white-shirted defensive lineman coming right at him on 4th down. Hudson's going to keep it. He's going to dive and score the touchdown. That's the first rushing touchdown for Hodson all year, and only the 4th all year for LSU.
He'll take the ball from center and wait momentarily. Set it up, wait for that hole to open, and a fine job by that offensive line of LSU. A Miller and Truax and Roderick getting some movement there on Tennessee.
Browndyke continues his string of consecutive extra points. 96 straight for Browndyke. It is a 4-point game. 5:11 to go, 3rd quarter. Trailing by 4 now. Pedro Suarez with the kickoff. This is Pickens. He had a 93-yard return at the end of the first half, but he didn't get anywhere this time. Down at the 16. Darryl McCorvey made the stop, and only 2 yards on that one. 28-24. Tennessee 1st and 10 from the Tennessee 16-yard line. Kelly with play instructions at the line. Gives it to Thompson. Bounces off a tackler or 2. Goes to the 21-yard line. Tony Thompson spelling Chuck Webb at tailback.
I had the opportunity to play on some great running teams, which was nice as a defensive player, as you see Jim Bates talking to the Tennessee Volunteer defense. But what happens is the offense gets the ball back, starts to run, and never lets any momentum build up for the opposition. You take the stew out of them by just running the ball down their throat.
This is 2nd down 6. Tennessee will keep at it. Thompson breaks off 1 tackle, gets back to the line of scrimmage, but LSU, fired up defensive football team here. LSU pursuing very well. There were 5 or 6 of the Tigers collaborating on the stop. Clayton Newton will
nose guard.
3rd down 6 from the 21. Volunteers leading 28-24. Kelly facing only a 3-man rush, takes it over the middle. It is complete. This is Harper. Harper to the 36.5-yard line. Wayne Williams made the tackle. A gain of 43 yards.
Boy, this guy's got 1st round written all over him, doesn't he? As a junior that can high jump 7.2.5. Look at his acceleration now. Just gets deep enough to get beyond the linebacker. Now he's looking back into the ball, keeps his feet. A lot of those track guys don't like catching the ball over the middle, but Alvin looks pretty courageous.
Tennessee driving again. Again, they run, they set up the pass, just like the last drive. This time, Tony Thompson running inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. The drives in the scoring situation have been really interesting for Tennessee, Tim. On the one long drive of 78 yards, 12 of 14 running plays. Another one, 8 of 10. The last time, 9 of 12, but then they burned LSU with the pass play just like that time.
And even when they're running inside like that, Bob, understand that defensively you're thinking they've got these time bombs on the outside. We can't just blitz them. We can't just compress the defense because Kelly can throw the ball.
2nd down 6. Here's the play fake. Kelly had some time. It is complete. That is T.D. Woods. He's down to the 17-yard line. David Walkup making the stop.
See, against Georgia, with Hinton playing quarterback, they just closed in. They got 8 guys up on the line, and they said, throw the ball. We dare you. Alabama almost did the same thing early in that football game, but now LSU can't do that with the kind of explosive receivers they have out here and with this young man's ability to put the ball on the money.
Kelly has completed his last 9 passes in a row at the 18-yard line. Here's the pitch to Thompson. Needs a block. LSU's defense is everywhere. Good job by Thompson getting a little bit where almost nothing was available. Dunbar and Mouton finished him off.
Good contained by Corey Raymond, getting upfield and turning that play in, not allowing it to get to the sidelines.
This will be 2nd down 8. Time running out of the 3rd quarter. Less than 2 minutes to go. Minute 50 and counting. Tennessee at the 16-yard line of LSU, leading 28-24. LSU had a 14-0 lead in the game in the 1st quarter. Kelly checking off at the line. Can't get all the signals in there and decides to call a timeout. So Tennessee leading it by 4 points with a minute and a half to go in the 3rd quarter. Tennessee leading it by 4 and threatening again. This will be 2nd down 8 from the 16-yard line of LSU. Andy Kelly, the sophomore quarterback from Dayton, Tennessee, who replaced Sterling Hinton as the starter at the beginning of this game, didn't like the look of the LSU defense and called the timeout. Let's see what they told him. 4-man rush. Kelly over the middle into the end zone. Terrence Cleveland caught it out of the back of the end zone. It will go as an incomplete pass.
Where do you give help? You know, as a defensive coordinator, you're trying to, who do we double? Who can we take out of this? And who do we leave one-on-one? Like, you know, you double one guy and then you leave 3 guys that are 5'10". Pete Johnson, Pete Jenkins, this is his decision. You know, you get 3 guys one-on-one with fellas that are 6'1" that can jump 7 feet in the air.
3rd down 8 from the 16. Homecoming crowd cheering on the LSU defense. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Kelly throws it over the middle. It is complete. Close to the 1st down to Greg Amsler. Let's see where they mark the ball. It looks close enough, but because, of course, it's inside the 10, they may decide to bring in the sticks. Al Ford is the man in the white hat, the referee heading the SEC officiating crew here today.
Miguel Ventres on the tackle, and he and Oliver Lawrence are quick enough to cover. Now, LSU hasn't used any 5 defensive backs yet, and I think it's they're having problems keeping people healthy and trying to develop that coordination that you need as we watch this play again is critical. Walk up, trying to make penetration up the middle. The young redshirt freshman, Miguel Ventres, makes the stop short of the 1st down. And here we go.
Tennessee's going for it. 4th down and about the length of the ball. You saw the measurement. Tennessee leading by 4. A minute to go, 3rd quarter. This is a key play for the LSU defensive unit. The option, Kelly spins to the 3-yard line. Kelly, not the running quarterback. An excellent call by Johnny Major's football team as Andy Kelly faked it to their money man Webb, rolled around the right and got the 1st down.
You're right. This is a sellout situation. Those linebackers are going to be flying up over the top. They're going to try to make it happen right now. Faubacker hangs on, finally comes in to make the tackle, but great call by Johnny Majors, Phil Fulmer, that offensive staff from Tennessee.
1st and goal from the 3. Full house backfield for the Volunteers. Amsler, touchdown, Tennessee. Just pounding the ball down the field. Running, throwing for the big play. Then going to Chuck Webb, Tony Thompson, Amsler, even Kelly ran the ball. When you've got an offensive line that's been as effective as Tennessee's has against the defensive line that's all banged up, and in some cases an ineffective inside linebacking core, you get that kind of effective running. Greg Burke for the point after. It's good, and Tennessee leads it 35-24 with only 26 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Fisher at center. Tom Myslinski at guard, McCray at tackle, and watch him get movement on this LSU defensive front. Snap the ball and pop off there. Fisher gets a cutoff block. Myslinski into the end zone, and McCray, good contact on Clint James, who's fighting, but finally Amsler pushes it in for 6. And a very disheartening touchdown for LSU, who had come back. They keep coming off the mat. You wonder how many times they come back.
Kinchin sees a little bit of a lane, gets it out to the 32-yard line. This 35 points scored by Tennessee, the most ever scored versus LSU in this series. Tennessee had never scored that many against an LSU team previously. And we have 21 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Well, Tennessee scored 30 last week against Alabama, and Johnny Majors told us yesterday over at the Tennessee Hotel that, you know, he'd gone into that Alabama game with the way Tennessee's defense had been playing. He'd have been very pleased to think he was going to get 30 and thought he'd win, but gave up 47 to Alabama. Wyndham out to the 36-yard line for LSU.
And Hollingsworth has really come on for them, and they've used him well. He has really balanced out their pass and run.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter, and Tennessee out in front by 11 points here in Baton Rouge. Lexington, Kentucky last week battled all the way back, but then lost 27-21. As you pointed out, Tim, how many times can LSU keep battling back in terms of their momentum and their spirit? Let's see. Hodson has thrown for 255 yards already today. That looked incomplete. I thought Norfleet bobbled the ball, but they're calling it complete at the 42-yard line. The UT scoring drive, 83 yards, 4:44 on the clock.
Sterling Hitton has not played today, and they've been almost a 2-quarterback offense here for the beginning of the season. And one of the things that Johnny Majors mentioned is that he did not want a quarterback controversy. He's trying to avoid that, but I don't think anybody wants to play 2 quarterbacks consistently. It's really hard to develop any sense of rhythm and timing because no 2 guys are exactly alike.
Remember, they had that system going here a couple of years ago with Mickey Guidry backing up. It wasn't a 2-quarterback system in a sense of, I mean, Hodson's always been the guy, but he was a very good relief quarterback.
As you see Sterling Hitton there, he has also, understand, directed Tennessee in a game last year to 576 yards in total offense, which is a Tennessee record. So he's a capable young man.
On the first down, Hodson with the play fake. It is complete for the first down to the 45-yard line. Tony Moss with the reception.
In the game, and they're getting a little bit more depth.
First and 10 from the 45. Hodson overthrows everybody. Has it almost picked off. Number 7 was Jason Julian diving for the ball. It was intended for tight end Ronnie Halliburton. Second down, 10. Hodson goes down. Finally, Tennessee got to him. It was Todd Kelly, a true freshman, number 58, who gets the sack for the Volunteers.
And LSU's offensive front has been doing a fine job. Tennessee has been pretty vanilla up until today as far as pass rush. What I mean by that is just straight ahead, straight ahead. They've been doing a lot of gaming today, bringing those defensive ends around inside the tackles, and that time they broke through. Good coverage by the secondary. Hodson had nowhere to go with the football.
Third down, 18 from the 47-yard line of LSU now. Hodson has his man. It's Alvin Lee with a grab and a first down to the 26-yard line. Alvin Lee loves to play against Tennessee. A gain of 28. That's the yards. He has 301. Hodson completes this one to Kinchin. Down at the 19-yard line. So the first 300-yard plus passing game in the fantastic game. Told you about last week. They were down LSU, down at Lexington, 21-0. Came back, almost pulled it out before losing 27-21. Here's Wyndham trying to run, and you see the success there. Not very much. LSU has run for only 52 yards today.
Walker and Rogers really closed it up in a hurry. There looked like a hole as Wyndham made his move toward the line of scrimmage, but it vanished quickly.
This will be 3rd down 3 with 11:50 to go in the game. Tennessee leading it by 11. A critical drive here for LSU. Double tight ends. On the 3rd down, it's a long 3, too. Hudson has a little time. Over the middle, into the end zone. Kinching can't grab it. Might have come down out of bounds anyway at the back of the end zone. Now it'll be 4th down and about 3.5. It's an 11-point Tennessee lead. You can figure the mathematic possibilities if they were to go for the field goal. They have a great kicker who's 8 out of 8 on the year, but LSU has decided to go for it. Fourth down and a long 3 from the 19-yard line. Tennessee up by 11. 11:33 to go in the game.
Tennessee will be coming after him.
That's Moss in motion. Here comes Tennessee. The quick dump pass. Moss just couldn't get it, and that was because of the Tennessee blitz. The 4th down attempt fails, and now the LSU defense has to go out there.
Blake Miller is down in the field as we look at this play again. Fullback just couldn't get to Walker. Didn't have enough time to get the ball out to Moss.
Injured LSU player. We'll check on who he is and what his condition is when we return.
We saw a few minutes ago the hole closed up in a hurry, and here you see Casey Rogers, and missing is Victor Jones. He's being replaced by a redshirt freshman, Ralph Norwood, and Fred Norwood, excuse me. And you know, you don't hear a lot about Victor carrying the ball, but here's where you miss him. Watch Norwood in his confrontation with Casey Rogers. Takes it upfield. Now he's just a redshirt freshman, but he doesn't make the play, and that hole shut down in a hurry. LSU forced into a passing situation, then a pass again on 4th down, falls incomplete, no points on the board.
LSU center Blake Miller had to be helped off the field. We'll check on the condition of LSU's starting offensive center. He was the injured player prior to going to commercial. Tennessee ball after they make the stop on 4th down, and they run it out here to the 23 with Chuck Webb carrying. Blake Miller on the sideline there, number 57. They're working on his knee. He did get up. They took a wheelchair out.
The line coach here at LSU said he's developed into probably their best offensive lineman, Blake Miller.
After the play fake, Andy Kelly going on the run. Incomplete. 10:48 remaining in this ball game. It's time to see what you know about SEC football, brought to you by Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know. Tennessee leading in possession of the ball on 3rd down 8. Kelly being pursued by Dunbar and gets out of bounds. Did not get the 1st down, so LSU's defense holds. They chase Kelly out at the 23-yard line. Tennessee will have to punt it away, and LSU still in this ball game, trailing by 11 with 10:38 to go. Will punt to Todd Kinchin, and LSU should end up with some good field position. They're going to rush 10 men. Elmore gets it away. Kinchin runs up and catches it in a crowd at the 41. The penalty marker is down. Tennessee has the ball, but remember the rule. There must be a 2-yard circle around the receiver to allow him to catch the ball. A penalty marker did go down. He fumbled it. Tennessee recovered, but remember the rule about interference with the receiver's right to catch the ball, the punt returner. I could not see whether he had called a fair catch or not.
No, he did not call a fair catch, I can tell you that.
That's why the rule. And thus Tennessee gets the ball. He did not call a fair catch.
But you don't need to call a fair catch. He cannot penetrate that circle, Bob. He can't get in there.
There's the call on it. You just heard Al Ford. It's because the player was blocked into that 2-yard circle.
Well, both of them were blocked in there?
That's what Archer said. So he did not call a fair catch. That did not have anything to do with it, though. Tennessee recovered the ball, and the officials have ruled that he was blocked into the 2-yard circle. Thus, no penalty against Tennessee, and it's Volunteers' ball. And we'll take a break.
Okay, we're going to show this to you here now. There's an imaginary circle around the man that catches the football that you cannot penetrate, as you see Kitchen on the edge of the screen there. And let's see now. They're saying that the Tennessee man was blocked into the punt return. Let's roll it here. Okay, here's Kitchen. He's coming in to catch the football, and these are the men in coverage coming down. And let's see if anybody's blocked into him.
Absolutely not.
You know, absolutely not. And Bobby Gaston, he'll get mad at me. He's my good buddy that's in charge of the SEC officials. But somebody threw a flag. When he threw the flag, he was saying that somebody penetrated that area. And then he changed his mind. Hey, if you're going to step up and throw the flag, then stand up for your decision.
They didn't, and it's first down Tennessee after the fumble on Kitchen's attempted reception. Webb out of bounds on the far side after a gain of 5.
And those things happen, but
they happen often to LSU this year.
Well, I just hate
over.
Inadvertent flags. That means somebody changed his mind. And, you know, we're all going to make the mistakes. Officials will make mistakes. We make mistakes up here. Except for people in our booth, they never make mistakes. in our spotter, Kim Anderson never makes a mistake. But things happen. But stand up for your mistake.
Tennessee leading by 11, and they get the ball on the fumbled punt reception. Webb diving forward for the first down. Now here's where Tennessee's vaunted running game can really come into effect. 10 minutes to go in the ball game, and Johnny Majors can just keep hammering it and hammering it and hammering it. And he's loving this.
And he is intense this year. There's no question about it. He is into it. And as a running back, former running back at Tennessee, and a great player there, I think he likes to see the ball on the ground.
First down, 10 from just inside the 30. Webb driving down near the 20-yard line. Cornelius with the stop for LSU.
Chuck Webb on the way to being a great running back for Tennessee. Tough, hardcore, good work ethic. You know, drives right between the lanes and the road, you know, and no traffic tickets.
Second down 2. Just outside the 20-yard line. Webb goes to 109 yards rushing on the day. This time the handoff goes to Clemens McCroskey, redshirt freshman fullback for Tennessee, as Tennessee attempts to gain the first down. They'll spot the ball apparently short of the first down, but only by about the length of the ball. So Chuck Webb, in his 2 performances since the absence of Reggie Cobb became effective, which was prior to last week's game, has come up in both games with 100-yard plus rushing. This is Chuck Webb's 3rd 100-yard rushing game this year. 110 versus Alabama, 134 versus UCLA, and 109 today. Tennessee continues hammering it on the ground. On the 3rd and very short, Roland Poles gets the first down for the Volunteers. So Tennessee went into that Alabama game last week undefeated, as did the Crimson Tide. Alabama won and stayed undefeated. You see the conference standings. Florida 3-1, Tennessee 2-1, Ole Miss, Auburn all have a chance for that SEC title still. These teams do not unless spectacular upsets happen. 1 loss is about the most you can hope to have and win the conference title. Tennessee got a great shot at it still. 15-yard line goes to Tony Thompson. And Tennessee has a somewhat favorable schedule coming up. Johnny Majors didn't exactly agree with me, but think of this. Next week in Knoxville, Johnny Majors will play against Akron Zips, then Ole Miss at Knoxville, Kentucky at Lexington, and Vanderbilt at Knoxville. So 3 home games remaining for the University of Tennessee. They've got a great shot to go 10-1. They should be favored in all those remaining football games, and I thought should have been favored today.
And obviously they're proving they should have been favored today.
7.5 minutes to go in the game. Second down, 8 from the 15. Reverse Terrence Cleveland. Cleveland gets it down to the 2-yard line. Corey Raymond chased him out. Cleveland's just a little guy, 5'8", 165. Got 13 yards on that call.
Tennessee, unbalanced line to the right, and they've been hammered inside with Thompson and Webb. Just throw a little counter punch here to Cleveland.
Tennessee's 35 points is the most ever scored by Tennessee against LSU. They're about to even increase on that. Webb, airborne, touchdown, Tennessee. There's a penalty marker, a couple of them down in the end zone, however. We'll wait for the call. Tennessee, LSU's defense held. Tennessee had to punt. Kenshin ran up to catch the short punt by Ken Elmore. A couple of players ran right up next to him. He fumbled the ball. LSU got it. There's a penalty marker
12
thrown.
men on the field on the defense. The penalty being forced on the kickoff. Touchdown.
Call on that. Tennessee with 12, or LSU with 12 men on the field. So that call against Tennessee that was erased after the penalty marker had been called, and then the officials decided the player had been blocked into that 2-yard circle. Gave Tennessee the ball with a good field position after the recovery, and they take it in and score. Greg Burke with a point after. 42-24 Tennessee. We have 7 minutes, 19 seconds remaining. Homecoming getting a little soggy here at LSU. We'll have scores for you coming up here shortly. Kickoff into the end zone, and LSU decide not to run it out, although Todd Kenshin had second thoughts, then downed it in the end zone. So LSU will bring it out to the 20 with 7:19 to go in the game, trailing by 18. Short drive, 40 yards.
Well, really, as you mentioned, Bob, a 2-part drive. They had some plays, and then the punt, and then 8 more plays, 40 yards. And Tennessee, I think, now has the LSU defense where they want them. The injured players are playing more injured, and they're just worn thin now.
Hodgson with over 300 yards in the air today. Adding to it this time, Halliburton out to the 29-yard line. Tracy Smith making the stop for the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee with only 6 defensive backs at this game, and Hodgson's slow to get up, and he's been hammered so many times this year. He's got to be getting tired too. Tired of being hit. Or what's that blues song? I'm getting so tired of being tired.
Or something like that, right? Sing a few lines, maybe I can pick it up.
Over feeling blue or something. I'm black and blue because I've got the blues. So.
Sal Graves coming into the game, but you know, it's too bad that the folks here don't appreciate this guy, Hodgson.
I got the blues because I'm black and blue.
Right. That'll be good. If it hasn't been written, maybe you could write it.
And Saul Graves, junior backup quarterback, in there at quarterback as they check over Hodgson. Looked to be okay. Graves hands it off to Eddie Fuller. Fuller out to the 35-yard line. Tennessee out in front by 18 points with 6:45 to go in the game. So Saul Graves got 1 play before Hodgson returns. Hodgson today passing the football 316 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that is a career high for Hodgson in terms of yardage.
With no interceptions.
Hodgson in the pocket. Completes it to Halliburton for the first down. Hodgson's a big guy in terms of how pros look at this player. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. Has a good quarterback mind. Now scrambling and throwing. And he put that ball up. It's incomplete to Alvin Lee. But he put that ball up there where the only 2 things could happen is Lee would get to it or it'd be out of bounds.
Exactly.
This will be second down, 10. Tennessee only rushing 3. Hodgson has his man open. It's Kenshin. Kenshin gets to the 35-yard line. May have gone out of bounds at 36. Preston Warren chased him out. Game out of the shotgun. Great pass rush there by Hayworth, but Hudson stepped up in the pocket and was able to complete the pass to the 30-yard line. Eddie Fuller, the man who made the reception.
You saw Doug Matthews on the sideline there. He's still coming after him hot and heavy. He's been the running back coach at Tennessee since 1980 and coordinator. There you see him with his head set off right next to John. John wants to know what's going on. and Matthews became the defensive coordinator, had some defensive experience at Weber State, and I think Virginia Tech has done a great job.
Hudson taking it again to Halliburton. First down, LSU. The drive continues to remain alive. Hardy chased him out of bounds. The totals are going up here.
Now in the class that was recruited the year before.
Hudson. Into the end zone. Touchdown to Eddie Fuller. '23-yard touchdown. Hudson's third touchdown pass today.
These Tigers don't know they're out of the game. Fuller continues to work, and runs a corner pattern. Jason Julian there, but that ball is put right on the money with Hudson on the move.
LSU going to go for 2. If they're successful, they would then trail Tennessee by only 10 with 5:13 to go. With his Hudson arm, who knows what could happen. Problem is, LSU's defense will have to stop that Tennessee clock-eating running game. Hudson looking into the end zone. It is complete for the 2-point conversion. It is a 10-point game. Penalty marker is down. It looked like defensive pass interference against Tennessee. If that's the case, the 2-point conversion will stand.
And Hudson trying to go to Moss. He couldn't get
89. Tennessee has not defeated LSU in Baton Rouge since 1952. There have been a sparse number of games over the years since that time. But Tennessee on the way to doing that today by a 10-point lead with 5:13 remaining. However, Tommy Hudson doesn't think that at all, and he has 5:13 to go. So the kickoff coming up here, we'll probably see an onside attempt. Pedro Suarez. He's got to go 10 yards and doesn't. Matter of fact, it goes backward a yard. True freshman, 18-year-old Pedro Suarez obviously hasn't had that kind of pressure before, and you see the look from Jimmy Young back at his young freshman kicker. What he thought of that. So Tennessee now gets the ball at the 50-yard line. So Tennessee leading it by 10 with 5:12 to go. Still time for LSU, although the fans are very sparse here today. They left early. A lot of empty seats.
And that running attack from Tennessee has a tendency to take a home crowd out of the football game. You know, they just don't ever have time to get any juice flowing.
Took them out of the stadium here. Webb driving to the 40. We were talking about giving you some SEC scores. Auburn and Mississippi State. That's late in the third quarter. Mississippi State just missed a field goal, hit the crossbar. So it's a close one at Auburn today. Georgia beats Kentucky 34-23. That game at Athens. Penn State and Alabama knotted at 3. Next week we'll have Mississippi State versus Alabama from Birmingham, Alabama at 12:30 Eastern Time on our TBS Game of the Week.
Tough game for Alabama, too. Non-conference game after a big emotional surge against Tennessee.
This is Thompson who got the first down and more. Tony Thompson run out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Rayful Adams making the stop for LSU. A gain of 12 yards. Tennessee leading it by 10. In the ground game, you saw the graphic just a moment ago. The Tennessee 200-yard plus ground game tradition continues here this week. And that's been the story of this game. Tennessee has been able to run the ball effectively, and then Andy Kelly and his receivers have been able to link up for some large gains in the air when that was necessary. Tennessee with a very balanced and well-executed game plan today. Amsler into the backfield for no gain.
And here's another amazing statistic as far as I'm concerned. In talking to John Majors before the game yesterday, he said their running backs have not fumbled the ball this year. And that's amazing in college. They have not fumbled the ball. They haven't lost the ball in that fashion. And you know how important turnovers are in big games. So they're not shooting themselves. They're not giving up the other team an advantage for free.
Well, just think about what if Tennessee had not the penalty situation where LSU fumbled and Tennessee recovered on the punt, went on to score. This would be a 3-point game. Here's Webb inside the 20. Down to the 18-yard line, although the way Tennessee's moving the ball, it might not matter. They are running very effective against a tired and increasingly banged-up LSU defense. And now Tennessee with 242 yards on the ground today. And Webb has 131 of those.
Now you have the third string defensive left tackle for LSU limping out of the game.
3:21 remaining. Chuck Webb getting past attempted tackles, but not this one. 23, Wayne Williams, a little 5'8" cornerback, former running back, drives Webb down hard over on the far side at about the 15-yard line. Well, this has been a record-setting year for Tommy Hodson. I'm sure he'd rather have a better overall one.
And Alabama had an excellent game plan against them last week. Came up with a really spectacular victory. But this team here is going to be hard to stop. As you mentioned, they'll be favored the rest of the way. And this is a prolific offense here. You start bunching in there to stop that running game. You got Harper out there and Woods out there. If you have somebody that can get them the ball.
And just in terms of making an intelligent coaching decision, going from Sterling Hinton to more of a pure passer, Andy Kelly, really works in favor of that running game.
Exactly, because you have enough great athletes. You don't need a great footman.
Terrence Cleveland tries the end run and is knocked down at the 14-yard line by Davidson for LSU with 1:48 remaining. By the way, we are very pleased to announce here on TBS a corporate sponsor, just television viewers, of course, is quality of teams improves because of the amount of payoff. Some scores from action around the country today as Tennessee just continues moving the ball down the field, and Johnny Major's team about to go to 6-1. I believe that's kind of an old score. I saw a later one on that, but Duke was leading Georgia Tech by a substantial amount a little bit later in the ball game. Purdue and Michigan State scoreless. That's also a score from early in that game.
John Majors talking to Kippy Brown, the receiver coach. Kippy has developed some great ones here at Tennessee.
Greg Burke attempting the field goal. Remember, it's only a 10-point game. This is a 31-yard attempt by Burke. And like everything else has gone for Tennessee today, that goes through the uprights. And now Tennessee leads 45-32 with 1:38 to go in the ballgame. Johnny Majors, as you said, Tim, you and I noticed when we talked to him at his hotel yesterday that Johnny Majors is really back into the spirit of coaching. Not that he'd ever gotten out of it, but when they went 0-6, Tennessee, at the beginning of the year last year, Johnny just got his blood flowing in his Tennessee veins again. Reshuffled his coaching staff a little, and you can see he's right in the midst of this, right here.
Full line stand by Penn State.
He's got Doug Matthews that has taken over the defensive backs and just doing a
teammates on, and he was
out of sight. They're over the mountain. And they made a few basic changes, and they decided that let's not complicate things. Let's make it simple. We can bring good athletes in here. Let's get them unconfused, then uncomplicate things, and let them play football. And that's what they've been doing.
There's a swift kick down to LSU. Almost backfiring. As LSU gets it out.
Playing. We're also keeping an eye on what's happening in Lincoln.
Probably be favored in that game. Then Alabama, then Mississippi State. Mississippi State giving Auburn a tough time, only trailing by 7 in the third.
And at least an even chance of beating.
The situation is getting any better, Bob.
Calvin Wyndham to the 37.
Rocky Felker's done a fine job this year. Bulldogs are giving Auburn all they want today.
We'll see them in action against Alabama next week. Hudson over the middle, popped into the air, falls to the ground at the 28, intended for Willie Williams, the tight end. Less than a bigger game, 101 yards passing the ball. Prior to this game, in his distinguished career at LSU, Hodson had never passed for more than 300 in a game. His single game high had been 299, and today 401 yards, but in a losing cause.
And I'm certain they'd like a better mix than that. Whenever you're throwing the ball that much against the Tennessee defense, it's because you haven't been able to run the football.
Calvin Wyndham with the reception of the bone-jarring tackle, and then they'll wave it. Wyndham's okay. They'll wave it incomplete, and it'll come back. He could not hold on to it. Tracy Smith, the other number 3, made the stop.
So come back from him.
When LSU drove all the way down to the 3-yard line, couldn't score the touchdown, got the field goal, led 17-14, kicked off to Tennessee, and then here comes Pickens. This was right before the half, and this was the momentum changer in this ball game, a 93-yard kickoff return. And back to live action, Hodson incomplete at the 22-yard line. Intended for Wes Jacobs. So, as you pointed out, Tim, there, LSU drives down 89 yards, was going to get a touchdown to the fans thought to go ahead 21-14. Instead, they have 2 drop passes in the end zone from inside the 5, have to get the 3 points. Fans here boo their own LSU Tigers for having to take the 3. Then on the next play, the 93-yard kickoff return, the game really changed right there.
Yeah, exactly. And those are things that really don't show up in the box score. 2 just flat out drop balls by both the tight ends, and so you're down 4 points there, and then a touchdown by Tennessee. That's another 7.
Fuller at the 10-yard line. 34 seconds to go in the ball game. Hodson may not be finished with his
Death Valley since 9
for you.
That's a touchdown. And the point after by Browndyke is good. He continues his string, 97 straight point after touchdowns, and it's 45-39 with 26 seconds left in the game. And Mike Archer and the LSU team, I'm sure, even though with 26 seconds left, don't feel that it's over. But remember the onside kick attempt last time. The true freshman Pedro Suarez tried the onside attempt, and it went a negative yard, and Tennessee fell on it and got the ball at midfield. They'll have to try that again.
Yeah, and Tommy Hodson's on the phones talking to Ed Zombrecker upstairs, the offensive coordinator, and they're planning on getting the ball back. That's the idea, and he's getting instructions now what to do in the next several plays.
There's the onside kick recovery team for LSU going onto the field. I'm sure they've had a few words for Pedro Suarez.
There's Joey Wessel. Joey was a young man at Florida State that blocked all those punts a few years ago, scored a couple of touchdowns. So Joe and Marge, we got your son on TV here.
So Suarez has to kick it 10 yards for the ball to be eligible for recovery by LSU. Does it this time, but Tennessee comes up with the ball at the 48-yard line. The man with the ball, number 89, Vaughn Reeves, a tight end, and that'll just about close it out unless Tennessee bobbles it. 25 seconds to go. Tennessee getting that field goal made somewhat of a difference. LSU is going to lose this ball game probably, but Johnny Majors has not been able to relax, even with 45 points.
No, and he's been around the SEC long enough, and he's been around LSU football long enough to know these guys don't lay down. But he's got to be proud of his football team, because they had an emotional high last week, even though they lost. I mean, they were really emotionally prepared for that game, and often you come back and have a letdown, and they didn't let down against LSU. They came in here with a mature attitude. They were prepared. They came into the Tiger Den and kept this crowd sitting on their hands. So he's got to be real proud of what he's got going for him now.
Well, LSU had won less than 50% of their day games historically here at Tiger Stadium with a great winning percentage at night. But this is the first of 3 TBS telecasts during the day that LSU has lost. They go down to defeat today 45-39 at the hands of Tennessee. Johnny Majors' team, Tennessee's first victory in Baton Rouge since 1952. 5-39 Tennessee. Today's Valvoline players of the game are Carl Pickens of Tennessee with his back-breaking 93-yard kickoff return right prior to the half, and Tommy Hodson of LSU, 438 yards and 4 touchdown passes. On behalf of Valvoline, TBS Sports proud to contribute $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund for each institution in recognition of this honor. Well, Tim and I will be back next week live from Legion Field in Birmingham. Today's game has been brought to you by Anheuser-Busch. Well, that's the story here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Johnny Majors' crew winning 45-39. The entire TBS production crew and Tim Foley on Bob Neal. Thanks for watching. And now here's Greg Sager in Atlanta.
Thanks, Bob. On this, the weekend before Halloween, a lot of contenders have been unmasked as pretenders. Well, the